Hello again. Today we are going to make a lake scene tumbler, and we are going to use epoxy and alcohol ink and some water slide. So lots of fun stuff to go into this tumbler. So the supplies you are going to need you're going to need a white tumbler, painted white. You are going to need a variety of alcohol inks. I have a whole bunch of colors I'm going to use. We're going to use some glitter in the water and in the sky. We are going to use two-part epoxy, A and B. I have a couple of silicone brushes I'm going to use to kind of blend the epoxy colors together. As always, I'm going to have rubber gloves for safety. I'm going to use my heat gun little bit to warm up some stuff. We are going to use a torch for bubbles, and we have a set of Waterslide decals. I already have these cut and ready to go. So our first step is going to be to get our cup on the turner, and normally I start with it already on the turner, but I wanted you guys to see how cool this turner is. So this is the vise that my turner comes with, and it is like adjustable, so it fits multiple size cups. And I literally put it inside my cup, push the vise down, and I crank it tight, and it is so solid. No footballs, no pool noodles, nothing like that. And I do have a link to this turner in the links below the video. And there's also a coupon code for folks who follow my channel and group, and it is JC Creative with the letter T for a turner, and JC Creative with a letter V as in Victor for a vise, if you want to buy. Because you can just buy that vise, or you can buy the turner, you can buy it as a set. Super, super cool. I love it, love it, love it. And they actually custom made mine in that color. They come in lots of colors, purple, yellow, I think. Lots of cool colors, and they are so sturdy. And great customer service. If you are looking for a more durable turner, give them a shout. So I am going to start with putting our epoxy on our cup. I am going to do 10 mLs of each. I'm kind of marked it so you guys are going to be able to see. Grab my little silicone bowl here. And I'm going to speed up this process. Most of you guys have seen this in my other videos. Basically, long story short, I'm going to take part A. I'm going to pour that in first. I'm going to warm it up till it is the same consistency as part B. Then I'm going to pour in part B. Then we are going to stir until it goes from cloudy to clear. So I'm going to speed up this part of the video just to save time, because some of these videos are getting kind of long. Bubbles or anything right this second, because I am going to add a bunch of color and stuff to this epoxy. I'm going to heat it, I'm going to blend it, we're going to do all kinds of stuff, so not terribly concerned with bubbles. And this is more epoxy than I typically would use, but I want it to flow. I want there to be some movement in the color. So you need a decent amount of epoxy to make that happen. Okay, so for my lake tumbler, I want to have sunset, then I want a horizon with some land, then I want some water, and then I want like a shoreline. So I'm going to start up here with the sun, and for that I'm going to use my yellow, and these are all Ranger alcohol inks. I have sunshine yellow, sunset orange, and I'm going to put an itty bitty bit of purple twilight in there, which will go with kind of like my purple glitter that I'm going to use. I'm just going to drop some drops here. The yellow first. And I'm going to come in a little bit of orange. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit more yellow. There's a spot back here I missed as it was coming around. Right in between these two. Okay. So then I am going to take, here's my thunderstorm out there. I'm going to take a little silicone brush, and I get these from Amazon. And I am going to blend these colors together before I add in the little hints of purple. And these brushes you can just wipe clean with a baby wipe. If you forget, literally the epoxy will stick to it, dry, and you can pick it out. Just peel it off. So for the purple, I don't want to put a ton in there. I just want a little. So I'm going to take my alcohol ink, purple highlight, and I'm just going to put a little in a cup. Just a couple drops. So then I can have more control when I put it on. I'm going to put it on with this little silicone brush. Darker colors like purples and blues, they can really overpower a design you're working on. So I tend to try to use them in moderation. And I just kind of work it in. I want it to look like it does at sunset, and all those pretty colors in the sky are blending together. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to clean off my brush. So then I want to have almost like a horizon line where you see some land. So I'm going to use a darker green for that. This is called Bottle. That's literally what it says. Bottle green. I'm going to put one drop here. And I'm going to smooth that out. And then I'm going to put a little line with like a sandy brown. I think I'm going to put on with my little brush again. This is like a metallic rose gold mixative, so it'll give it a little bit of shine. Almost look like the edge of the land. Where the water meets the other side of the lake. A little more green. And I'm going to blend this a little with my heat gun. You warm it up, it flows a little better. Just bringing that orange back into the green started to creep up on me, which will happen. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to do some lake water here. I'm going to do a couple different colors of blue. That one's called sailboat blue, and this one's called denim. I'm so lightly doing this. Like I really am not. I am not pushing hard at all. Okay, so down in here, I'm going to use some green because we all know by the side of the lake it's kind of mossy and green. This one's called citrus, so this is going to be a limier kind of green. Kind of mossy if you ask me. And I'm going to couple that with some, this other bottle it's called. And it might not look like much now, but when it comes together with all the decals and stuff, it's going to be a pretty sharp looking cup. And then on the bottom, I'm going to do some of this brown, which it is teak wood. Now as, it might look one way, but then as it turns, those colors are going to keep turning and keep flowing and keep moving. Now I am not in love with the top of this cup. I'm just not feeling that orange, and it's just not doing it for me. So I am going to see what happens if I mix in a little white in there. Let's see. See if I can get a lighter sunset going on here. And I really can't see any of the purple I did before, so I like that a little bit better. It lightened it up a little bit. And I'm going to see about putting some purple back in, now that it's starting to get a little tackier. Well, you get the idea of what I'm going to do. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit while I play, because I'm going to keep just working this until I get it exactly how I want with these colors and these blends. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit and then be back in just a jiffy. Okay, I like how it's coming together, but I'm going to add some accents to kind of spice it up a bit. And by accents, I mean glitter. So I have this coral color here. We're going to add some of this into the sun. And I'm not adding a lot. I'm just putting a little bit to add some sheen. Also going to add a little bit of purple to that sunset there. Add some of our aqua teal here. Some water. And I'm going to add a little bit of our white. Right up there by that shoreline, I think. The white looks super pretty on the blue. And this is for an actual order, so she wants it sparkly. So I gotta make sure to add in some fun sparkle. Might even put a little of this right up in here. Okay, we are going to let that spin for probably about 8 hours, and then I'm going to come back and we are going to add decals. Okay, so I lied. As I've been watching this spin, I really just was not happy with this green section. So I've came back in and added some more green, and I'm trying to kind of emulate a tree line here instead of just a... So I added some more green, and then I'm using like the bristle of my brush here to just make some happy trees, some Bob Ross happy trees. And I'm actually liking it a lot better. It looks much more tied in there with the sky and with the shoreline. I'm definitely liking this look better. So all I did before I hit the record button was I went in and I had added a whole line of green around that edge, and then grabbed my brush and started playing with it. So now it's really starting to look like a lake line to me. And we have the sunset behind the trees. So I like that a lot better. Of the water and then of this tree line. So now I think I'm going to let it spin for 6 to 8 hours, and we'll come back with decals. Okay, we are back and our cup is all dry, and so we are ready for some Waterslide decals. Finish off this cup, and this kit is going to have, we're going to have some cattails. We've got a little bridge we're going to put on. We've got a little saying life is better at the lake. A frog, some flowers, some lily pads, and this is actually for an order, so it's a got a little custom message on the back as well. So I'm going to just move this out of the way and put our water here so you can see what I'm doing. So I think that I am going to start with the bridge first. And I trimmed most of these out, but I'm gonna just, I like to trim, even though it's clear and you're not gonna see them, like see the edges typically, I like to trim them out as close as I can get to where the color, the ink stops on the print. So I'm just gonna start with a bridge. Turn my turner off here for a sec. I know I want the words here because there's a little bit of like it's whiter in there, so they'll pop a little bit more. So I want to put the bridge directly under the. So you just want your water slide to be able to smooth off that paper. Moves off the paper. Okay. A little water here and help it slide. It's not a bridge, I guess it's a dock. So I'm going to take my dampened baby wipe. I'm going to smooth that baby on there. And then I think I'm going to do the words next, which I want to put in this section here. So I'm going to put those in. The main verse and the girls' verse I'm going to put on the back, I think. Sometimes they curl up in the water, so I just flatten them out. Put the water there. And I start at the end, get it going, and then I slide it off. And I start in the middle, and I rub it out. Okay. And then I want to add some cattails here by my dock. Go ahead and put them both in there. Turn this a bit so you can see. Actually, I think I'm gonna see if I can still slide this over a little bit. It might not move for me. I think it just needs to move over a little bit. Oh no. See? Mistakes happen. I don't know if I could get a corner of it or not. Where's my trusty X-Acto here? Let's see if I can move it. If I can't get it, I'm leaving it. No, it's not going to come off, so guess what? I'm leaving it. I would have liked to move it over just a little bit more, but it's okay. We're going to have the cattails on there, and it'll all balance out. I'm going to make it balance out at least. So I'm going to one cattail there. And then I'm going to put another one over here. move it over just a tad to try to visually center this whole little scene I got going on here. Let's see how that looks. I'm gonna turn it on here. See how the water slides just really, really, really make this cup. I'm just gonna smoothen those out. Okay, and then I'm going to stop it when it's kind of like on the opposite side of the cup. It's right about there. And I have the girls' custom message I'm going to put on that side. And then we'll add some more cattails and a couple other little water slide decorations. So I'm going to probably speed this up while I go through and put these all on. You get the idea on how to lay them. So for sake of time, I'm going to fast forward us here, and I'll be back as soon as I'm done adding all of these cute little decals. All of the little decals are on. I got some little water lilies. I got a little cute little Mr. Frog here. Got some cattails. And got our two messages and our little dock. And it is super, super cute. So we're going to let this dry, and then we're going to come back. We are going to add a top coat of epoxy, and we are going to be all done. So I will see you in a little bit. Okay, we are back. Our water slide is completely dry, and it is time to coat this bad boy with its top coat of epoxy. So I'm gonna get my silicone bowl, some rubber gloves, and our 2-part epoxy. I'm going to mix up I think 10 mLs each of both part A and B. And if you've watched my other videos, you know that I like to warm up part A before I put it into part B. It's all part of my bubble-free method, because that's how I've learned not to get any bubbles in my epoxy. So we're going to go to the tin. All right, 10 mLs of part A. And I'm going to fast forward through this, but basically I'm just going to warm this up till it's the same consistency as part B. And then I'm going to add, oh, look what I did. I grabbed the wrong bottle. Grab a new measuring cup. Thought that looked kind of thick coming out. Oh, goodness. I'm going to do 10 of B. And I'm going to stir that until it's no longer cloudy. A minute or two. So I'll fast forward this part as well. Okay, so now my epoxy's all mixed. If you've watched my other videos, you know that in order to do my epoxy, I do a super thin coat, then I hit it with the torch, then I flood coat, then I hit it with the torch again, and that gives me a pretty perfect finish almost every time. I'm just basically I'm primering the cup. I'm just putting enough on to wet the surface. And a little goes a long way, it really does. I want to make sure every part of the cup has some epoxy on it. Hit your bottom. And you can feel it when your fingers are running across it. You can feel it. If it's in the light, it'll shine and you can see it. And I'm going to hit that with my handy torch. And then I'm going to come back in with the rest of my epoxy and pour it on. And it is self-leveling, so it's going to level itself out. Even the spots right on it. I didn't get it perfect. It should level itself out. And then one last time, I'm going to hit that with the torch to get rid of any bubbles. There you have it. That looks perfect and shiny and smooth. So we are going to let this turn for about 8 hours or so. And when we come back, we will have a finished cup. So see you in a few. And there you have it. There's our finished lake scene tumbler with alcohol inks and Waterslide decals. This kit is available on our site, www.giftsbyjc.com. It includes all of your outdoor lake waterslide decals, plus all of the glitters that I use. So 4 glitters: 1, the white, the coral, the teal, and the purple. And you can get all of that on our website. And if you like this tutorial, hit the like button. If you want to see what's coming next week, be sure to ring the bell so you'll be notified when we post next Monday on Make It Monday. Thanks everybody. See you soon.